guys, Tomboy601, and today we have a match in the Bismarck, and it's a bit of a special match because it is my last match in the ship until I unlock the tier 8, so I finally have enough GXP to get the Frederick de Gross. Not that I have the currency to unlock it, but anyways, we're not covering the game today, though we do have some excellent gameplay in the background. Today we are talking about the Halloween commanders because they have come in full force in the store. Also, the other Halloween goods that are in the store, but the important bit is the Halloween commanders because they are some of the most powerful in the game and the ones that like you may want to buy if you play specific ships and you like specific ships, because each and every one of them tailors themselves to a specific play style. So we're going to go ahead and go over them, talk you through what those play styles are, talk through which ones I think are worth it, and you can kind of decide if they're worth it for you. You know, a dollar is worth a different amount to everyone. Each of the commanders is 5,000 doubloons, which is $20, which, hey, that's more than a campaign. So when you're going through this, just ask yourself, are you going to get as much use out of one of these commanders as, say, one of the campaign ships? If the answer is yes, you may want to consider purchasing them. So let's just go ahead and dive on in. Of course, you head on into the store and you head over to that special tab. We'll also kind of touch over the ships that are for sale. We're going to start at the very beginning because it's a very good place to start. That's Halloween 2019. Now, if you want to know about the Warhammer, which is the Warhammer stuff, we did have a video the other week talking about that. So I'll go ahead and leave a link down below to that video. If you feel like watching it after you've watched this one, feel free, go right ahead. Anyways, let's first dive into the commanders because these are some of the most interesting commanders. The first one is my go-to for German battleships. That's Henry Hyde. We'll go ahead and take a look. Now, this first wave of commanders are all hybrid commanders. So what they did is they basically mashed together the two sets of skills from the tech tree commanders and gave you a hybrid of the two of them. And these are some of the most powerful commanders and the ones that I absolutely love. So this is my Henry J. Hyde build. Hyde, for me, I love the when the German battleships go burr on the secondaries. Henry Hyde was a must for me when he came up. I bought him. I did not get given him. I bought him as soon as I could because I missed out on him originally. His base trait is going to boost the maximum HP by 5%. You can go ahead and do the math as to when this trait is more beneficial than Sims's trait. I forget what the health percentage is, but there are some ships where if you wanted to originally run Sims, this base trait is better. And then as you can see, you can get both accuracy and secondary perks all in one boat. The only, I guess, downside to Hyde is he doesn't have will to rebuild, but it's okay. And then of course the inspirations I run are Haruna and Von Hipper for the maximum secondaries. Henry Hyde, absolutely one I recommend. The other one in the first wave that I swear by is Victor Einstein. He is my go-to commander for my American heavy boats. Just because of the skills that he offers, he is unlike any, well, Beepley now, but prior to Beepley, he was very, very unique. So his base trait is going to boost the cruiser traverse speed, super useful. And then he's also a hybrid commander, so you get both ingenious and intuitive. So you both know when people are targeting you, and you know the direction of the closest enemy ship. And then you guys can see the rest of those skills right there. That is just absolutely powerful. Like, having that additional information, yes, you can always make a guess as to where enemy ships are, but to have that bearing, to be able to at the end of a game, when there's that one lone destroyer or the aircraft carrier remaining, to be able to still give your team intelligence is so valuable. Like I said, if you enjoy playing heavy cruisers, Einstein is my go-to. These two are my like picks for the first series. Hellsinger, I'm not a huge fan of him, mind you. I'm not a huge Japanese like boat commander, and originally he really didn't serve a purpose because when he was released, you could put him only on the Japanese torpedo boat line, and why would you ever want to buff the guns on the torp boat line? Like, that doesn't make sense. I think with Akizuki, he can make sense. I still like Yukikaze more, but I think Helsinger, previously, he was a very weird pick, and I haven't really put much into him as far as upgrade materials. Uh, but now that the Japanese gunboats are out there, he could very much serve a purpose. The other stuff that's available with Wave 1, the Charlemagne that has the Scarab skin, you don't need it. The Nassau for 3,750 doubloons. Nassau is a fantastic tier 3 premium. It is one of the best meme ships out there. I highly recommend Nassau if you don't have Nassau already. And then the other ship that is available for some reason in Halloween 2019 is Bellerophon. I believe this was a free battleship, if I recall correctly. It was part of, I think you had to like accomplish a couple of tasks and you could get Bellerophon for free, if I recall. I'm not 100% sure on that one. On to Halloween 2020, and this one was the Rust and Rumble event. This is the one where it was the post-apocalyptic, the Destroyers v Destroyers v Destroyers. You can purchase the Ognavoy. I'm not a huge fan of Ognavoy, so up to you on that one. But the commanders are all very powerful destroyer commanders. I personally am not a huge fan of blue, but we'll get to the first one. Vincent Mordoff. He is my go-to for the American gunboats. He is William Halsey, except his base trait boosts your main battery reload. Oh yeah. And then his unique skill is going to boost the survivability and of your torpedo launchers and your main batteries, which is like, okay, that's fine. The real thing is Mordiff gives you the ability to go just even faster with the American gunboats, and those boats are already quick gunslingers, and it'll give you the edge in some firefights. The other two are Sergio Splendento. I found Sergio really helpful for the middle bits of the Russian destroyer lines. His ability to boost gun traverse and the ability for him to build into a full dispersion build is fun, especially if you like playing the Russian gunboats at range. Right now, I'm more preferring Trubetskoy on my Russian gunboats, but I will give a shout out to Splendito. He has a unique playstyle. If you want to dabble in that playstyle, you're going to want a lot of upgrade materials to be able to get him high, along with one of the other commanders, Nobusato Sano, who's in the third wave of Halloween stuff, and a high level Vine to really get as much incoming dispersion buffed. But he can be fun, and I will say he made grinding through the Russian line of destroyers a lot easier for me. It made things pre-Minsk buff tolerable. Finally, we have blue Furioa. We got blue over here. Not the Velociraptor from Jurassic World. I know there are people who are huge fans of her. I just don't know. For me, the German boats I like playing more in a gunboat style. I like buffing the guns. That's the kind of playstyle. Blue is all about buffing torpedoes. If you like the torpedo playstyle with the Germans, go for her. It is not my cup of tea, but it may be yours. I just like having Bay with the built-in concealment and the gunboat build. That's my preferred playstyle with them. Like I said, it could be very different from yours. And if it is different from yours, nothing wrong with that, because the German boats, the German destroyers, they're hybrids, right? They are meant, they can be kind of buffed either way. So if you like the destroyer and the torpedo boat playstyle, Blue does a fantastic job. Her base trait, Mosquito Brutes, it's gonna boost, or it's gonna reduce the detectability on those torps, super powerful, and it's gonna decrease their reload time by like a huge percentage. I have it up to 30%, which is massive. It does significantly cut down the damage on those torpedoes, but you're still walking out with a pretty good overall damage kind of buff there. As far as the boats that are available with Halloween 20, you have Ognavoy, which I said I'm not a huge fan of, and that's it. Finally, our most recent set of Halloween, we have the 3 commanders from that. We have Clara Teslau, Ivan B. Delightful, and Nobunaga Sano. Let's go ahead and start with Clara Teslau. She is a German battleship commander. She has a unique sort of brawler replacement skill, boomsticks. It's going to reduce your main battery reload and decrease your torpedo reload time at the cost of 10% shell grouping, which is kind of rough on the German battleships. Her base trait is why you may be interested in her. Like I said, I like Hyde as my German battleship commander, but her base trait boosts the main battery traverse speed and your rudder shift time. If you are of the agile variety, if you like buffing your cruisers to be agile, I prefer Clara over ARP Takao or Taco. Takao, both of them can boost or reduce your rudder shift time by 3%. Takao, her other additional stat, boosts the AA. This boosts the main battery traverse speed. I think that's a better trade. I don't really care too much about a small buff to my AA. The small buff to the main battery traverse speed, that can make it up, especially when you're dealing with agile cruisers and ones that are turning quickly. That's why Tesla is one of my go-to commander traits, but not one of my go-to commanders. If you're not full in on that, I don't recommend it. Next up is Ivan B.D. Lightful. He is one based off our now departed community manager Tikana. He's off, I think World of Tanks is where he's working now. But he is a fantastic Russian cruiser commander and one that can replace Kuznetsov. His 2 traits, his base trait is going to it's going to reduce your main battery reload time, and it's going to reduce the cruiser detectability time after firing its main batteries, which is excellent. And then his other trait is going to boost main shell battery grouping and reduce dispersion at the cost of additional detectability. So he's a pretty fun commander, and one that if you like the Russian destroyer cruisers, he's very powerful. The final one is Nobunaga Sano. He is a Japanese destroyer commander. He's all right. I tried messing with him. I'm not a huge fan. The only reason I would rank him up at all is to try an anti-dispersion build on destroyers. Beyond that, I'm not too big of a fan of him. Finally, the ship that is available is the Genova. She's a fun ship. Right now, she does get SAP. I think she's one of the weaker ships that gets SAP just because of her relatively slow fire rate. But if you missed out on her, I think now is a fantastic time to jump on her. And guys, that is all of the Halloween commanders. Like I said, I think my top ones are Hyde, Mordif, and Einstein. The rest, it really depends on what you play. I am a big German battleship, American cruiser, American destroyer kind of person. Therefore, those are the ones I gravitate to. But the rest of those commanders could be ones that fill certain spots for you. What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments below. If you like the video, go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Look at that, you made it to the end of another fantastic video. Just want to take this time to give a special shout out to our producer level members, and don't worry, I'm not forgetting about you. I've left you a fantastic subscription button and a video that I personally recommend that I think you will love. Give it a go.